You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Bold and the Beautiful fans. Once again, we have Ridge Forrester overstepping and trying to shove Eric Forrester out the door. It seems like war may start soon, and Ridge has a bunch of people really, really mad at him. And if the way he's treated Eric messes with his dad's health, there might be an angry mob coming for Ridge. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and let's get into what could happen now that Ridge has gone too far with Eric. We could see a new rival fashion house rise up, and a lot of others on B&B could be wrapped up in the drama. But first, please hit subscribe if you're not following us yet. I don't know about you, but when I heard Ridge and Brooke talking about throwing Eric a surprise retirement party, my jaw just about dropped. A surprise retirement party thrown by Brooke and Ridge is okay if the party is the surprise and not the other part. But it sure sounds like that Ridge is planning to surprise his dad, Eric, by forcibly retiring him against his will and throwing a party as a consolation prize as Ridge shoves Eric out the door. It sounds like Brooke and Ridge are planning to say, surprise, Eric, you're retired, which is basically saying you're fired. And of course, Brooke's just standing there smiling like whatever Ridge does is fine because, you know, he's her destiny. Anyway, he's clearly doing Eric dirty and Brooke is enabling it. I mean, in one regard, I do see Ridge's side. You know, 2 years ago, Eric was super sick, but he insisted on completing his final collection for the fashion challenge. This was before Ridge even knew his dad was dying. And then he found out he was sick and they weren't telling each other the truth. And Ridge won the challenge, but he lied and told Eric he won because his dad was dying, and then he didn't die. And since then, Eric's actually been back up at FC doing design work here and there, you know, on Hope for the Future and other projects. But in the end, though, I think Ridge thinks that Eric has nothing left to offer. Ridge keeps telling Eric that you designed your last collection just right off in the sunset. And as far as Ridge is concerned, he thinks he's the best designer at FC. He thinks he doesn't need Eric in any professional sense. This is the man who taught Ridge everything he knows, and he's being totally dismissed. And when Eric tried to talk to him, Ridge acted too busy and too important and just above it all, and was just paying lip service to his dad. Never forget, Eric and Stephanie Forrester co-founded the company, and it was Eric's designs that made FC a worldwide brand, not Ridge's. By the time he came along, Eric was a world-renowned designer genius, and Ridge was just a kid learning to sketch. So now he's disrespecting Eric, and we're seeing Ridge shoving his dad out. Not only is Eric not happy with Ridge, neither is his wife, Donna Logan. She was giving major side eye to Brooke when she pretty much agreed that Eric needs to step aside and just leave the building, go play pickleball, go take a cruise, whatever, you know, you can do what you want. You just can't do it here. So we've got Donna and Eric both really irritated with Ridge, but they're not the only ones. Bill Spencer is on fire about how Ridge is treating Katie. I will say Ridge and Brooke seem to have the best intentions trying to help Katie, but they are also being pushy and presumptuous and not looping her in. And at the same time, I do think Katie's being a little hypersensitive. But then again, she's like a raw nerve right now because the whole Will and Luna thing has been really stressful on Katie. So she wanted to focus on work, but when she went up there, Brooke and Ridge had taken that from her, thinking they're doing her a favor. They're just making decisions for people without consulting them, thinking that they know best. And when Katie went crying to Bill about it, of course, he came unglued. I mean, Ridge simply breathing and existing rubs Dollar Bill the wrong way. And now he is on fire because Ridge devalued Katie's role at Forrester and hurt her feelings. So Bill confronted Ridge this week and things got really tense. because he hates Bill too. And when Katie told Ridge she didn't feel appreciated, he gave Katie some lip service, a little bit of reassurance, but he was more focused on insulting Bill and kicking him out of the Forrester Creations building. But is Katie about to follow Bill out the door and never return? So at the same time, we have Donna also annoyed at Brooke and Ridge, and we're seeing Eric and Katie both feeling dismissed and unappreciated. Plus, there have been hints that Eric's health might be an issue again, and it could be Ridge stressing him out with this retirement push that actually triggers it. But an interesting new project could turn it around and give Eric something to live for, and I really hope Bold goes in this direction. So right now, Bill wants Katie and Will to come work at Spencer Publications. So all of this dual family drama with the Logans, the Spencers, and the Forresters, could it coalesce into something that is fresh and a twist? That would be great. Something like a competing fashion house. We haven't seen Ridge having to fight off a competitor in quite some time. And I think it would be really wild if Bill was so annoyed with Ridge that he decided to launch a new division of Spencer, a fashion house. After all, Eye on Fashion was their flagship publication, so Bill's company has been fashion adjacent for decades. You could see a fashion division as a natural evolution. And I think with Ridge being so cocky and self-important, everybody that he's annoyed might band together to work against him. Donna, Eric, Katie, Bill, and others. Eric could be the lead designer for this project. Katie could do the PR. Donna could do whatever it is that she does, wear tight sweaters and make dirty jokes about honey, her expertise there. Also, with Liam and Hope getting married later this month, Bill might be able to recruit his new daughter-in-law, Hope, to bring her line over to Spencer. That means Zende might actually follow since he's working at Forrester Creations, but he has been working on Hope for the Future mostly and has felt sidelined before by the Forresters. And my gosh, if Bill and Katie press on Will, he might join them in this new fashion venture at Spencer, and he could tempt Electra to leave Forrester and join them and have her own jewelry line. And Will, could be the intern, as useful as Donna is, delivering mail and whatnot. So a lot of Bold and Beautiful fans have been dying to see a competing fashion house taking on Forrester Creations. That was the key to some really hot plots in the past on B&B, like when Jackie Maroney had her line and she stole designers and the limelight. Then there was Spectra Fashions, which was a hoot, both with Sally Spectra and her namesake aunt. But with a cast as small as it is on Bold and Beautiful, it would be hard for them to bring in all these outside people to make it happen. That's why Bill investing in a fashion division would be amazing, because we could get the same thing, but using the same cast. I would totally be down to see Eric heading up a Spencer fashion house and grinding Ridge into the dirt. It's especially important if Eric's health takes a turn because Ridge is trying to force him into retirement, because this could turn things around, like I said, and give Eric something to live for. If Bold and the Beautiful did a rival fashion house under the Spencer umbrella, it could rip Forrester Creations in two, push father from son, put sister against sister, and create some big drama that would make B&B really, really worth watching.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.